If you can learn English, you can change your destiny, and today I'll tell you how. Many people believe learning English is just about grammar, vocabulary, or speaking with the right accent, but the truth is deeper and more powerful. Learning English is not only about language, it is about opening doors, breaking mental barriers, and rewriting your future. Every day, millions of people dream of studying abroad, getting a better job, understanding the world, watching movies without subtitles, making international friends, traveling freely, and expressing themselves with confidence. But fear, doubt, and hesitation stop them from taking the first step. If you are reading this, maybe you are one of them, and maybe you are tired of being limited, tired of missing opportunities, tired of feeling shy or embarrassed because you cannot speak the language you want. I want you to know that you are not alone. Every successful English speaker today was once a beginner who felt exactly like you do now. They were afraid, they doubted themselves, they made mistakes, they felt slow, confused, frustrated, and sometimes hopeless. But the difference between success and failure is not talent, intelligence, or age. It is consistency and belief. If you believe you can learn, you will. If you refuse to quit, you will improve. If you practice a little every day, you will change your life. Think about it, the world is connected through English. The biggest movies, the most famous songs, the most valuable books, international companies, universities, airports, technology, business meetings, online content, and global communication all use English. When you learn English, you enter a much bigger world. You get access to more knowledge, more people, and more opportunities. You become stronger because you can understand more, communicate more, and achieve more. The difference between someone who knows English and someone who doesn't is not small. It is life-changing. One person gets stuck in the same place, limited by language, while the other person travels, learns, earns, and grows. The difference is not destiny, it is choice. You can decide today that your future will not be limited by language anymore. You can decide that your voice deserves to be heard, that your dreams deserve to be real, and that you will not let fear control your future. Of course, learning English is not instant. It takes time, but think about everything else in life that takes time. Growing up takes time, working takes time, learning skills takes time, achieving dreams takes time. So why do we expect English to be easy? Anything valuable requires effort. Anything powerful requires sacrifice. But that sacrifice is nothing compared to the reward. The reward is confidence, freedom, and opportunity. The reward is a better life. Every time you practice, every time you listen, read, speak, or write, you are building a future version of yourself. A version that communicates clearly, travels confidently, works internationally, makes more money, meets more people, and feels proud instead of scared. Imagine yourself speaking English without hesitation. Imagine understanding everything you hear. Imagine expressing your ideas, opinions, and feelings without fear of being judged. Imagine talking to people from different countries. Imagine watching movies without subtitles. Imagine getting hired for a job because you speak English. Imagine your family being proud of you. Imagine yourself standing somewhere in the future, grateful that you did not give up. That future can be real, but only if you start. Many people think they cannot learn English because they are too old, too busy, too slow, or too shy. These are excuses, not realities. You are never too old to learn. People learn languages at 50, 60, even 70 years old. Age is not the problem. Time is not the problem either. You do not need 5 hours a day. You need 20 minutes of focused practice. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. 20 minutes every day for 1 year is better than 5 hours once a month. Being shy is not a problem either. Shy people learn faster than you think because they listen more, observe more, and reflect more. Shyness is only a problem when you let it control your actions, and being slow is also not a problem. If you learn slowly, that means you learn deeply. That means you remember. Fast learners forget quickly. Slow learners are stronger in the end because they build a solid foundation. The only real problem is believing you cannot do it. The moment you believe in yourself, everything becomes possible. When you start learning English, you will make mistakes. You will pronounce words wrong. You will forget what you learned. You will hear something and not understand. You will read something and feel confused. This is normal. This is part of the process. Babies learn their first language by listening for 2 years before speaking. Adults expect to speak perfectly in 2 weeks. This is unrealistic. Instead of being embarrassed by mistakes, celebrate them. Mistakes mean progress. Mistakes mean you are trying. Mistakes mean you are alive and learning. The only people who do not make mistakes are the ones who never try. So be proud of every mistake you make. It means you are moving forward. Another reason people fail to learn English is they compare themselves with others. They see someone speaking fast and feel discouraged. They see someone with a good accent and feel insecure. They hear someone using difficult vocabulary and feel inferior. Stop comparing your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20. Everyone starts somewhere. Everyone learns at their own speed. If someone is better than you today, it is not because they are smarter, it is because they started earlier. Your competition is not other people. Your competition is the version of you from yesterday. If you are improving even a little, you are winning. I want to tell you something important. Your English fluency is not about perfection, it is about communication. If you can express your ideas, ask questions, understand answers, and connect with people, you are already successful. Perfect grammar, perfect accent, and perfect vocabulary are not the true goal. The goal is confidence. The goal is communication. Many native English speakers do not speak perfectly. They make grammar mistakes too. So do not wait to be perfect before you speak. Speak now, speak with mistakes, speak with courage. Speaking with mistakes is better than staying silent with perfection. Every day you learn English, you are training your brain. You are increasing memory, focus, creativity, and confidence. Studies show that learning a language makes the brain stronger, faster, and healthier. So when you learn English, you are not only changing your life from the outside, you are changing your brain from the inside. You are becoming more capable, more adaptable, and more intelligent. Your brain loves new challenges. Do not underestimate your mind. It is powerful beyond imagination. It can learn multiple languages, multiple skills, and multiple systems. Your brain is ready, but you must give it the chance to grow. People often say they cannot learn English because they live in a country where nobody speaks English, but that is no longer an excuse in the modern world. The internet has made the entire planet your classroom. You can listen to English podcasts, watch English videos, join English groups, send English messages, read English articles, talk with learners from other countries, and surround yourself with the language even if nobody around you speaks it. You do not need to travel abroad to learn English anymore. English can travel to you. Thousands of people in countries like Brazil, Turkey, Pakistan, Iran, Mexico, Egypt, Indonesia, and many others have learned English without leaving their hometown because they used the internet wisely. They created an English environment online. They changed their phone language to English, watched videos in English, played games in English, listened to music in English, and wrote notes in English. Small changes can produce big results over time. You do not need perfect conditions to start. You need commitment. If you wait for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. Start with what you have, where you are, and who you are right now. Another important thing to understand is that learning English is not only an academic skill, it is an emotional skill. Your emotions affect your learning. If you are stressed, anxious, or scared, your brain blocks information. If you are relaxed, motivated, and curious, your brain absorbs information faster. This is why enjoying the learning process is so important. Do not force yourself to study English in boring ways. Do not torture yourself with only grammar textbooks and long lists of vocabulary. Combine learning with joy. Watch movies you love in English, listen to songs you enjoy in English, read stories that inspire you, learn English from topics you care about: sports, business, motivation, technology, cooking, travel, history, psychology, anything you like. When the learning is enjoyable, your brain learns effortlessly. You learn faster, remember more, and stay motivated longer. But what about fear of speaking? This is one of the biggest challenges. Many people know English in their mind but cannot speak because they are afraid of being judged, afraid of sounding stupid, afraid of making mistakes, or afraid of not finding the right words. The solution is not to wait for confidence. The solution is to create confidence by practicing. Confidence is not a gift, it is a result. Confidence comes from action. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Start with small steps. Practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. Describe your day in English. Record voice notes. Talk to AI. Talk to language exchange partners online. Even if you speak slowly, even if you search for words, even if your accent is strong, keep speaking. Your tongue needs training just like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The first time you speak will be the hardest, but then it gets easier and easier and easier until one day you realize you are speaking without thinking too much. That day will come if you do not give up. You should also understand that progress in English is not linear. Some days you will feel amazing and understand everything. Other days you will feel lost and confused. This is normal. Learning anything new is like climbing a mountain. Sometimes you walk fast, sometimes slow, sometimes you stop to rest. But as long as you keep moving, you reach the top. The biggest mistake people make is quitting when the journey becomes boring or difficult. Boredom and difficulty are part of learning. If you push through them, you grow. If you quit, you start from zero again. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once struggled to speak. Every confident communicator once felt shy. The difference was consistency and patience. Think about the opportunities that English brings. Many international companies prefer employees who speak English because they can communicate with clients around the world. Someone who speaks English can apply for online jobs, remote jobs, freelance jobs, customer support jobs, teaching jobs, translation jobs, writing jobs, and many others. Someone who speaks English can study in universities in America, Canada, Germany, Australia, Malaysia, UAE, and many countries. Someone who speaks English can travel more easily because airport staff, hotel staff, drivers, guides, and tourists often understand English. Someone who speaks English can make friends from different cultures, learn new ideas, understand different perspectives, and grow as a human being. Someone who speaks English can access knowledge, books, courses, and research that are not available in other languages. Someone who speaks English can watch global content, learn international skills, and become more creative. English is not a language anymore. It is a tool for survival in the modern world. It is like a key that unlocks doors. Without it, many doors stay closed. With it, even doors you did not know existed will open for you. Some people say they tried to learn English and failed, but failure in learning is not permanent. Failure only means you tried with the wrong method, wrong environment, or wrong mindset. If you change your strategy, you change your results. If you failed yesterday, it does not mean you will fail tomorrow. You only fail when you stop trying. Every time you begin again, you increase your chances of success. Do not let your past disappointments control your future potential. Maybe you studied English in school and did not learn much. That is okay. School teaches grammar, tests, exams, and memorization. Real learning is different. Real learning comes from curiosity, practice, immersion, repetition, and emotional connection. If your old teachers made you feel stupid or slow, let that go. Their opinion does not define your ability. You are capable of more than you know, and remember this, you do not need perfect grammar to speak. You learned your first language without studying grammar rules. You learned by listening, repeating, observing, and practicing. English can be learned the same way. Grammar is helpful, but grammar is not everything. Many learners focus so much on grammar that they forget to communicate. They analyze instead of speaking. They correct instead of connecting. Grammar is a tool, not a prison. Use it, but do not let it stop your voice. Imagine a world where you understand everything you hear in English. People talk, and your brain captures the meaning effortlessly. You read a book, and every sentence makes sense. You listen to a podcast while walking outside, and you understand every word. You watch a movie, and you enjoy it without subtitles. You enter a job interview, and you speak calmly, clearly, and confidently. You travel to another country, and you ask for directions, order food, and express your thoughts easily. You talk to someone from another culture, and you share ideas, dreams, and stories. That life is possible. Many people already live that life, and they are not smarter than you. They just refuse to quit. They kept going when it was difficult. They believed in themselves even when others didn't. You can do the same. Sometimes people around you will not understand your motivation to learn English. They may say it is unnecessary, too hard, a waste of time, or something only rich or educated people need. But do not let other people's limited thinking limit your future. People often criticize what they do not understand. Many of the same people who tell you English is useless will be shocked later when you get opportunities they never had. Your dreams are not meant to be approved by everyone. Your path is not required to make sense to those who never walked in your direction. If you want something bigger, you must be willing to do what others are not willing to do. Most people stay in their comfort zone. They want change without effort, success without struggle, improvement without learning. But that is not how life works. Growth comes from discomfort. Progress comes from effort. Success comes from learning. If you learn English, you are investing in your future, even if the people around you cannot see it yet. There will also be days when you feel tired or unmotivated. Days when English feels boring, difficult, or confusing. On those days, remember why you started. Remember the vision of your future. Remember the opportunities you want. Remember the life you are building. Discipline is doing what you need to do, even when you do not feel like doing it. Motivation is good, but motivation does not last every day. That is why discipline is more important. Discipline is stronger than mood. If you study a little every day, even when you do not feel excited, you will become fluent faster than the person who studies only when they are motivated. Small daily habits create massive change over time. 10 minutes of English every day for 1 year is more powerful than 1 hour of English once a week. Consistency beats intensity. Another important part of learning English is exposure. Exposure means surrounding yourself with English as much as possible. Every time you hear English, your brain builds new neural connections. Even if you do not understand everything, exposure trains your subconscious mind. This is why listening is so important. Listen to English while cooking, cleaning, walking, traveling, or exercising. Listen to interviews, TED talks, speeches, stories, news, and conversations. Listen to accents from different countries. Listen without pausing. Understand what you can and let the rest go. Over time, your brain will recognize patterns, rhythms, pronunciation, and structure. One day, what once sounded difficult will become clear and familiar. This natural process is one of the most powerful ways to improve. Reading is another strong tool. Reading improves vocabulary, grammar, comprehension, and imagination. When you read in English, your brain learns new sentence structures without effort. Start with simple content, children's books, short stories, English subtitles, social media posts, news articles, Wikipedia pages, or language learning apps. Then move to more advanced material as you improve. The key is to read things that interest you. If you read content you enjoy, you will not feel like you are studying, you will feel like you are exploring. And exploration is easier than studying. Writing also helps your brain organize thoughts in English. When you write, you convert your ideas into English form. Start small. Write daily diaries, short messages, lists of new words, goals, questions, or thoughts. Over time, write longer pieces, essays, stories, summaries, and reflections. Writing improves speaking because both skills use the same areas of the brain, and do not worry about mistakes. Mistakes in writing are easy to fix and easy to learn from. But out of all the skills, speaking is the one that changes your confidence the most. Speaking connects your mind to your voice. Speaking trains your tongue and pronunciation. Speaking forces your brain to build sentences quickly. At first, speaking will feel unnatural. Your words will feel heavy. Your sentences will feel slow. You will pause, hesitate, search for vocabulary, forget what to say, and feel awkward. This is normal. Do not expect fluency in the beginning. Expect improvement, expect growth, expect progress. Fluency comes after a lot of practice, not before. If you avoid speaking because you are not fluent, you will never become fluent. Fluency is the result of speaking, not the requirement. You must also understand that English is not one single accent or one single style. There is American English, British English, Canadian English, Australian English, Indian English, African English, and many other forms. Different accents, different vocabulary, different expressions, but still English. You do not need to sound like a native speaker to be respected. You do not need a perfect accent to be understood. You just need clarity. A clear accent is better than a perfect accent. Focus on being understood, not on imitating someone else's voice. Your accent tells your story. It represents your culture, your history, your journey. Be proud of it. Improve clarity, but do not hate your own voice. It is part of who you are. Another important lesson is vocabulary learning. Many learners try to memorize long lists of vocabulary that they never use. This is not efficient. Vocabulary should be learned through context. Context means learning a word in a sentence, story, or situation. When you learn vocabulary in context, you learn how to use it, not just what it means. This makes your English natural and practical. For example, instead of memorizing the word opportunity alone, seeing it in a sentence like learning English gives you new opportunities is more powerful. Context builds brain connections. Context creates memory. Context creates fluency. Also, do not be afraid to repeat. Repetition is the mother of learning. You watched a video and understood 40%. Watch it again tomorrow and understand 55%. Watch it again next week and understand 75%. Repetition turns confusion into clarity. Repetition turns difficulty into familiarity. Repetition builds mastery. Many learners avoid repetition because it feels boring, but mastery is built on repetition. Champions in sports repeat the same moves thousands of times. Musicians repeat the same notes again and again. Language learners must do the same. Repetition is not a waste of time, it is the foundation of fluency. Remember that you are learning English for yourself. Not for school, not for exams, not for teachers, not for friends, not for others. You are learning English to build a better life, to open more doors, to make more choices, to have more freedom, to understand more of the world, to express your ideas, to increase your confidence, to break your limits. You are learning English to change your life. And when you change your life, you change your family, your future, and your environment. There will come a moment when you suddenly notice that words you once struggled to remember come to you naturally. You will watch a video without subtitles and realize you understood more than half. You will read a sentence and realize you did not translate it in your mind. You will hear someone speak English and feel your brain respond automatically. This moment is not magic, it is the result of every small effort you make today. The human brain learns silently. You might feel like nothing is changing, but inside your brain, connections are being formed, sounds are being mapped, grammar structures are being recognized, and vocabulary is being organized. Language learning is invisible until suddenly it becomes visible. That is why you must trust the process even when you cannot see progress right away. Many learners get stuck because they try to translate everything from their first language into English. Translation slows you down. The goal is to think in English, not translate into English. Thinking in English starts with small steps. Name objects around you in English. Describe your actions in English. Use English for simple thoughts like I'm hungry, I'm tired, I need water, what time is it? Over time, your brain will build a new highway for English thoughts. When you can think in English, speaking becomes smooth, listening becomes easier, reading becomes faster, and writing becomes clearer. Thinking in English is one of the most powerful steps toward fluency. Some people believe they need to travel abroad to learn English, but that is not true anymore. Traveling helps, but travel does not guarantee fluency. There are people who live in English-speaking countries for 10 years and still struggle to speak because they do not practice. And there are people who have never left their hometown and speak fluently because they practice daily. Fluency is not about location, it is about dedication. It is not about where you live, it is about how you learn. The world has changed. The internet has created a global classroom. Today, your teachers can be videos, podcasts, audiobooks, conversations, and experiences, not just textbooks. You should also understand that motivation may start your journey, but habits keep it alive. Motivation says, I want to learn English. Habit says, I am learning English every day. When something becomes a habit, it becomes part of your identity. You do not need to force yourself anymore because it becomes natural. To build a habit, start small. Do not try to study for 3 hours every day if you cannot maintain it. Start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes of listening or reading or speaking. Small habits done consistently become big achievements. A river cuts through rock not because it is strong, but because it is consistent. You are the river, English is the rock, keep flowing. You will meet people who speak better English than you. Do not feel inferior, learn from them. You will meet people who speak worse English than you. Do not feel superior, encourage them. Language learning is not a competition. Everyone is on their own timeline. Celebrate your own progress. Every new word you learn is a victory. Every sentence you speak is a step forward. Every video you understand is an achievement. Every mistake you make is a lesson. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Learning English also teaches resilience. You learn how to handle confusion, how to overcome embarrassment, how to push through difficulty, and how to stay patient. These skills are valuable in life, not just in language learning. English becomes more than a language. It becomes a teacher. It teaches you how to grow, how to adapt, how to believe in yourself, and how to never give up. When you learn English, you are building a stronger version of yourself. A more confident version, a more open-minded version, a more global version, a version that can stand anywhere on the planet and communicate. Imagine yourself 5 years in the future. Imagine you kept practicing English even a little every day. Imagine the opportunities you gained, the knowledge you accessed, the people you connected with, the confidence you built. Now imagine the same 5 years, but you did not try. You stayed the same fears, same limits, same doubts. Which version of you do you want to become? Time will pass anyway. 5 years will come whether you learn English or not. The question is, who will you be when that time arrives? If you have a dream of studying abroad, learning English is your first step. If you have a dream of working for an international company, learning English is your first step. If you have a dream of traveling, learning English is your first step. If you have a dream of speaking confidently, learning English is your first step. If you have a dream of understanding the world, learning English is your first step. All big dreams require small steps, and this is one of those steps. There will always be challenges. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to quit. But quitting will never give you what learning can give you. If you stop, nothing changes. If you continue, everything can change. Persistence is more important than perfection. You do not need perfect English to change your life. You need consistent English. You need brave English. You need real English. English spoken with confidence is more powerful than English spoken with perfection. And remember, English is not a status symbol. It does not make you better than anyone else. It makes you more connected, more informed, and more prepared. Use English to learn, not to show off. Use English to help others, not to judge them. Use English to build bridges, not walls. The purpose of learning a language is communication and understanding. When you speak English, you become part of a bigger world. One day, someone may come to you and ask, "How did you become so good at English?" And you will smile and say, "I did not give up." And that will be the truth, because fluency is not a gift. It is earned, it is built. It is created by effort, patience, consistency, repetition, exposure, and courage. You have all the tools you need. You have a brain capable of learning. You have access to resources. You have time every day, even if just a few minutes. You have motivation, or you would not be reading this. Everything else is just practice, so start today, even if you start small. Learn one new word, watch one short video, read one paragraph, listen to one speech, speak one sentence out loud, write one line in your notebook. Do something, because something is infinitely better than nothing. Small steps become big results. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and your journey to fluency begins with a single action. English is not just a language. It is a tool, it is a bridge. It is an opportunity, it is a doorway, it is a life changer. Learn English and you will change your life.